Good evening and welcome to tonight's, regional semifinal, technically coaches show, but it's going to look a little different tonight.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate this state championship volleyball team. They're all standing over here behind us now, but we'll get them on here in a little bit. But I think you're going to hear from Coach Reynolds first. Stephen kind of did an interview with him earlier today, so we're going to get that playing first, and then we'll get to the exciting volleyball team.
And so we'll be right back after a visit with Coach Reynolds. All right, Coach, welcome to Thanksgiving football. It's got to be a good feeling to once again be playing on Thanksgiving week.
For sure. That's one of the, if you can make it to Thanksgiving football, it's fun. You're doing something well. You've had a good season. To get to that point, round 3 is hard to get to in Texas high school football. And, we're excited to be here, but we're not satisfied and we're not ready to be done yet either.
You're going to get a lot of commotion in the back because these boys aren't ready to be done. Talk us just through a little bit. Obviously, week off, little different routine. What does this week look like for Falcon football?
Oh, we try to stay as routine as much as possible. Obviously, no school. So, when we met on the weekend, one thing we had to look at was, when we schedule our practices, normally we have the 5th period athletics. Yeah. As a little bit of practice or lifting, and then we have after school. Well, we kind of lose that 5th period athletics. So, you just bring them up. Like we started practice at 11. We came up at 9:45 and watched film with them and showed them film on your opponent. And that's what you kind of do every week. Obviously with Paradise, we try to show them a little unorthodox offense that you don't see very often anymore. So. We just try to show them that. We obviously still have to lift twice a week like we always do. So we try to stay as routine as possible.
And talk to me about Thanksgiving Day. Obviously, it's tradition to gather on, well, at least we always hope we gather every Thanksgiving morning. Talk to us a little bit about Thanksgiving Day because that's a special time as a program.
It is, we've been doing it for a while, and what we try to do is, have a quick walkthrough on Thanksgiving morning. Just like we normally would on a day before the game day. And then, I think our moms are going to, bring some breakfast up and, just really try to, enjoy the moment and celebrate, what we've accomplished, but also celebrate the journey that we've been on. And because that's what it's, when it's all said and done, that's what it's about is the journey and the friendships and the relationships. And you just want to, utilize that time. And like I said, on Thanksgiving, have a quick time away from football, with families, kind of like a team dinner, that we'll do before we send everybody off on Thanksgiving Day, to wherever they may be going.
So, final 16 out of, I think it's 108 teams into 3A Division I. There's 16 left. That's pretty rare air but it's almost become the standard. But obviously this year you came in talking about taking the next step, right. And the next step is December football. And to do that, we got to go back to Vernon. But before we talk about Paradise, let's talk about last week a little bit. Big win. You came out early, jumped on top. It's kind of become kind of our recipe for success. Talk a little bit about last Thursday night. You want to say Friday?
Yeah, we played it. I thought we played a really good ball game. Obviously, I thought defensively we played really well. That was a team that had scored some points, throughout the season, and what they do can give you some problems if you're not ready for it. So I thought our defensive staff did a great job. Our defense did a great job of just really limiting. I mean, their first touchdown was a big play, that we were right there. Big play, missed tackle, and they took it to the house. So other than that, we shut them down for the most part in the run game. I think they had one run that was over, 15 yards, and other than that, we were in their backfield all night. And then offensively, we were able to come out, score the first possession, kind of set the tone a little bit. I think we scored on, except for a missed field goal, maybe every possession the first half, I think. So we were able to do a lot of things we wanted to do. Kids played well, really proud of them.
First 3 possessions all in with an Easton Fuentes touchdown. How big is it to have that freight train when you're down inside the 10 to just be able to pound that ball into the end zone?
Yeah, he's tough to tackle. I mean,
I wouldn't want to try.
A kid that weighs 215 pounds or so, with that kind of speed and that type of mentality, physical mentality, we're just kind of unleashing him a little bit right now. And, all of our backs are doing a great job, and they all do different things well, and they're able to keep each other fresh. So that's one thing we feel like the rotation of the backs, we come in with a fresh back almost all the time. Even if it's after a long run, somebody pops a 50, 60-yarder, we feel confident in running somebody in there that's fresh and ready to go. But, yeah, Easton, he hadn't had a ton of carries this year, but, he's been getting more and more, and he's a load to bring down for sure.
He is. You talked about your defense. I think we limited him to 78 rushing yards on the night. Paradise likes to run the ball. Now, obviously, going back to Vernon, turn our eyes to Paradise. They're big, fast linebackers, fast quarterback. What are some things you're looking to establish early when we get there Friday night?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. They have a lot of team speed as well, like us. Quarterbacks fast. All the running backs, linebackers, receivers, skilled kids can all go, and their linemen are scrappy, fast type kids as well. So it'll be an interesting matchup, a good matchup, I think, as far as you're going to have two good teams that play fast, play physical, and are very aggressive on both sides of the ball. So we'll have to make sure we're ready to match that speed and limit the big play. I think that's one thing that they're very good at. Like I said, what they do offensively with that double slot stuff and their stretch and just trying to run you sideline to sideline like we do.
It looks familiar.
It looks familiar. It's from different, it's set up different from different formations, but I think really a lot of the same philosophies, just from a different type of offense. But they'll run you side to side and use that speed, and then as soon as you can't forget about the quarterback, because he's kind of the things that he makes it all go, and he's an athlete and he can get it, and you just have to be sound. It's kind of like playing option football on defense. You have to be sound on your assignments, because as soon as you're not sound on your assignments and you're just thinking they're going side to side, the quarterback's going to hit it up the middle for a big one.
They played in Vernon last week against Dalhart, one of our common opponents. How nice is it sometimes to be able to see your next opponent against a common opponent?
Yeah, definitely. What the team, the common opponents that you've played them, what they're about, kind of what they do. And it's good to kind of see that. They had the same thing. We played Dalhart, and they played, Dalhart obviously.
Yeah.
They played Whitesboro in district, and we played Whitesboro Thursday night. So it was kind of all the same there. I think you can look at it and just kind of gauge, off as far as what people do and team speed and size and stuff like that. I don't think you can really gauge scores and stuff like that. Try to compare scores too much, but. I think it's a pretty even matchup, and both teams are really good. What they do, they do really well, and it's going to be a great game.
Obviously, you get this far in the season, everybody's got bumps and bruises, but it feels like overall we're pretty healthy. I know a lot of people mess me, have you heard anything on Sid? Overall, we expect to get Ty back this week?
I think there's a chance. He's still working through some things and trying to keep doing his rehab and see where he's at, and he gets cleared, then there's a possibility, but he's still working through those things right now. Obviously Sid, there's a chance that he's still able to kick, Friday. He's doing, for a dislocated knee, he's doing extremely well right now. He's a little sore on it, but even, Ron said he did a great job, just being able to walk on it Friday night after the game and where he's at right now. But we'll just take those day by day and see how those guys feel, and that's kind of the thing. This time of year, you're going to have some of those things.
Yeah.
It's a long, grinding season. It's a physical game. It's a contact sport, and you're going to have some of that. And that's we're so blessed to have, the strength and conditioning with Coach Dreyer that we have to help take care of that stuff. Ron and Gina and our student trainers. We're very fortunate, blessed to have them, because they've done a great job of helping our athletes, getting them healthy, getting them back on the field. So, there's a hope for both of those guys, I think.
And as we wrap up football, got to ask you, your Lady Falcons, obviously being football takes priority, but also being AD, you get to be part of a lot of things here. And Lady Falcons coming off a state championship there in Garland this weekend. What does that do just for the overall, maybe the overall program of Bushland, being able to look across and just see everybody being successful right now?
Yeah, I think, just success breeds success in everything you do. It just raises the bar, and that's what you want. You're always trying to raise the bar, in everything that you do, and that should be the ultimate goal every year, is to put the best teams you can out there. Whether that's a state championship caliber team or whatever it is, you're looking to put, your best foot forward and do that. And, we have high expectations here, and that's great. And it can be tough sometimes, There's other things that factor into it, with injuries and luck and all kinds of different things that go in to different sports and their seasons. But, yeah, I mean, the thing I got from that, watching those girls this year is just and especially that championship game is just the resiliency that they showed, after last year's loss to Gunner and losing the seniors that we did, and not really knowing. We knew we're always going to be really good. Just not knowing, for sure, and then just getting better and better, getting back to that moment with Gunner again. They're 45 minutes away, and they're going to have a bigger crowd because of that. And them getting off to the start they got, and kind of, there could be some doubt, some wonder. All right, are we going to do this again? And then just our girls, almost in every set, to be honest with you, having the resiliency of being down early, coming back and winning late, and just really proud of them for that.
Yeah, it was cool getting to be there. Calling one of the Bally's guys told me, he said, "We didn't expect you back, knowing what you graduated last year. And here you are, but yet." Now we expect you back next year because you got like 10 non-senior girls returning. I'm like, well, really, I think we have 11. But it's that what Coach Culpepper and those girls do is incredible. And to watch just how steady they were. Because as you said, they fell behind 4 or 5 points in every set that they won, minus the fourth set. And yet they never were rattled.
Take some poise, especially at that stage. A state championship game. To get down like that, just show some poise and some toughness both, and I just thought it was just really fun to watch because I think once, that first game we were able to answer, we got down, they kind of had the momentum and we came back and won. I thought that was huge for us.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, another short week. Thanks for taking the time. Wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully we're back, believing we're back here next week talking about some December football. Who's going to bust out a December football shirt now that Mayfield's not here?
We'll get him to come or we'll steal it from him or something. So.
There we go. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
When glass breaks, call the doctor. Glass Doctor, family owned and operated since 1986. Glass Doctor can take care of all your glass needs, from windshield repair and replacement to a broken window in your home or upgrading your bathroom with a new shower enclosure. Our windshield replacements come with free rock chip repairs for 12 months after the install. Plus, we offer 24 hours emergency service for businesses. Call Glass Doctor today at 806-358-7684.
All right, welcome back to the Bushland Falcon Media Coaches Show. We have state champions joining us tonight. How are you, ladies?
Good. How are you?
So, introduce yourself for those that maybe don't follow Lady Falcon volleyball.
I'm Avery Ramos.
And maybe what position you play.
Libero.
I'm Ansley Tippin Fernandez, and I'm the setter.
I'm Bella Babbitt. I'm one of the outsides.
I'm Brooklyn Koenig, and I'm a middle hitter.
What does the libero do?
Try just to get perfect passes for the setter.
And Ansley appreciates that when it happens, doesn't she? So let me ask you this. An amazing weekend. How long did it take you to take off that medal for the first time?
I think
The whole
we
day.
wore it the whole
I would have been like showering with it, sleeping with it.
on
Like,
forever, right?
what does it mean when I say state champion? What does that mean to y'all?
Our hard work. Hardworking.
Hard work paid off. Like we're the top.
During the match, this whole series, do you have a memorable moment for you that you thought, this is it, we're going to take this? Is there a certain point that each of you had that?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Mine was when Ansley went back to serve, and then the number 2 went and like smacked it at Madison, and she passed it, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is game point right here. It just kind of happened, so.
Just kind of felt it.
Yeah.
Knew it was coming.
After, game point, I was going back to serve. All I remember is Mackenzie grabbing me and just giving me a good little pep talk of, get your serve over and you can do it.
What's it like to serve out a state championship match point?
It was definitely an experience. I was definitely nervous, but I knew that I was going to do it for my team, so I had the confidence.
Now let's talk about Saturday a little bit because there were many moments in that match, especially game 1 and game 2, where they climbed ahead 4 or 5 points. I think game 1 they actually led 21-15 if I remember right, and we came back and won. What was the huddle like when Culpepper takes that timeout and he sits you on the bench, backs to the crowd, obviously different? That was different, right? What was that? What was that huddle like? Because y'all came out on fire after that.
He kind of just like tries to calm us down. Like after like we're all out of breath and everything, he's just kind of like, "Y'all can do it. Like let's just get our play back together." And then we just kind of go out with more confidence than we did when we went in the huddle.
Anyone else?
I think he just like tried to help like calm our nerves, really, and like told us like what we should run, and like basically just told us we got it and made us go out there like knowing we can do it.
So, what did it feel like to get that, I'll call it revenge, from last year? Because most of y'all were on the team last year, right? How good did that feel to actually walk off and go, yeah, we got it back?
Well, we were like, we did this for our seniors last year because they wanted to beat Gunner so bad as much as we did. Our group chat from last year definitely went crazy.
It felt like a really great accomplishment. I know I didn't play last year, but for all these people that did, it was kind of like I hope, like, I played good for you. Like, it was kind of like okay, like, we did that for you, so.
Let's talk about that senior class from last year for a minute, because multiple of them, they've been out to support you a lot along the way. Not only were multiple at state, it was really cool to see the lineup at the regional tournament for that regional final of just how many Lady Falcons. What does it mean for y'all to be Lady Falcons knowing they went before you?
I don't know, just kind of like carrying on their legacy, like trying to build, I don't know.
They were all leaders, and I feel like we tried to take that on, especially these seniors over here. They carried that leadership into this season and really helped us perform to be our best at that state tournament.
There's a lot of tradition in Bushland volleyball, and carrying on that legacy holds us to a higher standard. And so,
Yeah.
It's like a big old family. Like, they're our big sisters, so it's like such an amazing thing to see them come out and like support us almost like their little sisters. It's so good.
So they honored the 2013. They brought the 2013 team out. How neat was that happened before this 2023 game?
It was really cool getting to see like all of what the Bushland Falcon volleyball is like getting to see them be champions and then us winning that the next day was kind of just like a cool little moment.
one of the old players coached me in Avery in club, and so it was really
nice.
cool just getting to see her and talk to her.
Okay, now some fun. Away from the serious volleyball talk. Maybe we go one at a time. We'll start with Brooklyn since she's got the mic in her hand. Brooklyn, what's your favorite candy?
Probably Skittles.
Favorite movie?
Fast and Furious.
Nice.
The second one.
Okay.
The second one's my favorite.
There's like, 10 now? So
There's a lot.
There's a
Yeah,
lot.
A lot to pick from.
It changed a little bit when Paul Walker wasn't around anymore, but I could talk about that. Is my nice choice. When not playing volleyball, what will we find Brooklyn doing? What are your hobbies?
Probably hanging out with friends or shopping, honestly.
And if
Physical
there
therapy.
was
Physical therapy is what I
no,
would do.
but let's talk about this because there's two of you that maybe this season didn't go the way you wanted it to, but everybody I've talked to said y'all were the best teammates and y'all did so much. What was it like having a group like this that still kept you included? Because a lot of times people get injured and they kind of go, you could be, I don't want to say go away, but maybe pushed aside and not feel like part of the team. But y'all never felt that way, did you?
No, it was really nice because me and Hannah always felt very included, and we really just accepted our role in the team of being the cheerleaders and always encouraging them and things like that. It was really sweet, and we appreciated it a lot.
And then, if a song could play every time Brooklyn walked in the room, what would be your theme song?
I don't know. My walk-up song would probably be Circo Loco by Drake.
Nice. All right, Miss Bella. Same thing. Favorite candy?
My favorite candy would have to be peanut M&Ms.
Peanut M&Ms.
That's a good one.
Favorite movie?
Rio.
Rio.
First one.
Do you love all animated movies?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love it. And when you're not playing volleyball, where will we find Miss Babbitt?
In my bed sleeping.
You're a napper, huh?
Oh yeah.
And what would be Bella's walk-up song or theme song?
I have a lot. Probably No Hands by Waka Flocka Flame.
Y'all are way more fun in this than the boys have been all year. All right, Miss Ramos. Favorite candy?
Definitely Reese's.
And favorite movie?
Top Gun, probably the second one's my most favorite.
What will we find you doing when you're not playing volleyball?
Hanging out with my friends. I do like to play the piano, so I do that a lot. Or hanging out with Jake, one of the three.
Nice. And if there, what would be Avery's theme song?
Nice for What by Drake.
Y'all are some Drake fans. All right, Ansley, same thing. Candy. Favorite candy?
Probably Sour Patch Kids.
Nice. Favorite movie?
Scream, the first one.
Really? You're a scary movie
I
person.
love scary movies.
Interesting.
That's the first one.
That is. And where will we find Ansley when she's not playing volleyball?
Probably hanging out with friends. I like to do a little shopping. A lot of shopping.
And theme song. What would be your theme song?
Probably Trance by Metro.
Trans, but nice. Okay, Ryder Grace wanted me to ask y'all a couple questions. Who wears the most makeup on the team? Bella! Wow.
Or Aniston. Or Amy.
Oh, Tabor. She's not even here to defend herself. This is awesome. What was the other one? Whose feet stink the worst?
Ambry's.
Oh, there wasn't any
Man,
doubt.
that was quick. That was quick.
There is something about volleyball socks when those shoes come off. Who's most boy crazy?
Aniston.
I can see that 1,000%. And there was who's the funniest? Who's the jokester on the team?
Laney.
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn, too.
Laney and Jocelyn. They should be here. We miss y'all, Laney and Jocelyn. And our basketball girls. That's what's best about this is Ambry and Aniston aren't even here to defend themselves because they're playing basketball tonight. So, Chris, you got anything else you want to ask the underclassmen?
One final question. If you had to sum the season up with one word, what would it be? Ooh.
Probably
I didn't pre-tell him that one.
Successful, probably.
Successful?
Family.
Ooh, good one.
Actually, before I cut you out, going into next year, obviously 5 times we've been to the state tournament in a row. 3 out of the last 4 we've won state championships. What's the expectation going into next year for y'all?
Win.
Win. I had a feeling that would sum it up, but well,
Yeah, there
you
you go. That could be
go.
one word.
So we'll get a word from Glass Doctor. We'll swap out our underclassmen for our upperclassmen and a state MVP, and we'll be right back.
At Glass Breaks, call the doctor. Glass Doctor, family owned and operated since 1986. Glass Doctor can take care of all your glass needs, from windshield repair and replacement to a broken window in your home or upgrading your bathroom with a new shower enclosure. Our windshield replacements come with free rock chip repairs for 12 months after the install. Plus, we offer 24 hours emergency service for businesses. Call Glass Doctor today at 806-358-7684.
Don't worry.
All right, we're back with our 3 of our 4 seniors and the state MVP. I love how big that smile gets every time I say that. Mackenzie, let's start with you. You're sitting with 3 seniors that have gone before you. Obviously, you're the third in a lineage of Sims girls that have been Lady Falcons. What does it mean to have them going before you?
It's just like them being a great role model for me, and I get to look up to them to what they've done for me.
Well said. And then seniors, what does it mean for y'all to get to lead them and have so many underclassmen step up?
It means a lot because we had a lot of girls leave last year, so having a lot of girls that didn't have experience coming into this state tournament and they like showed up and showed out, so it makes me proud as a senior to see their success and stuff. So
I would say it's just like leading by example and showing them what it means to be a Lady Falcon and carry on the legacy.
Right, like Abby said, we had a lot of seniors leave, and so just us stepping into that position of being a leader and showing them what Bushland volleyball is about is kind of what we had to do this year.
You know, it was cool when we got there on Thursday. Y'all were warming up and we were setting up, and one of the Bally's guys walked up to me and said, "I didn't think I'd see y'all this year." And he said, "Y'all graduated so many." And he said, and then I look at your roster and there's like 10 underclassmen coming back. What did it mean because let's be honest, there were some doubts. When you graduate 8 seniors that played as many minutes and were as great as they were, when y'all came in, what was the expectation for y'all? Because y'all heard a lot of that talk, but did you actually ever hear any of it? Or did it go in one ear and out the other?
Yeah, we did. I think the real big outlook for this year was come in and work hard because there was spots to fill. There was girls fighting day and day to get a spot that they wanted to play in because there was a lot open. And there was a lot of hard work and a lot of competition and practices. And honestly, I think everybody doubting us kind of pushed. Like, we don't buckle under pressure. It was like, they can't do it. And we were like, we're going to prove y'all wrong. Like, we did. So.
I don't know, like we just, every time we went into practice, we had a goal in mind, and that was state. And so, like, you know, just being reminded of that, it just helps you to keep pushing, like, through practice. And it obviously got us to state, and we won, so.
Definitely there was a lot of talk. I mean, in my classes, people were like, do you think you're even going to get to state? Do you think we're going to win? And I was like, I know how we can play, and I think we can win this whole thing. And people can say that's cocky, but I find it confident because I know how we can play, and I know how we are a family. And so I'm just glad that we proved everyone wrong, and we got our goal of the season. So.
Sorry.
So you've been there before, and how important is it that having been there before, having been in that atmosphere before, as leaders, how important is it that you help those who haven't been there stay calm and stay focused? What are some things maybe you said or did to help them?
Well, one of the big things that kind of helped everybody was a lot of people don't know the day after we get there, we have court time, and we get to actually have like 15 minutes to practice. That's a big deal because it's a big court, it's a big gym, it's very different. And I think just telling the girls that it's not as big as you think it is, helps them a little bit. So.
Kinsey?
It is a very stressful situation in gym, being in there with everyone, and just like helping them through it and just helping them be more confident about them, like their skills and what they have would help.
What was that extra 30 minutes in the tunnel waiting on Gunner and Columbus to finish like on Thursday? Because it felt like an eternity, didn't it?
I mean, yeah, we were definitely sitting there, and we're like, oh my gosh, this game's super close, and I don't know, it was just nerve-wracking. And then once we started our game, like, it was over like that. So, I mean.
Hey, and I appreciate that because I had to drive to Vernon and be there by 6 because he was coming back from Belize. And the fact that y'all
I was so mad that game was on Thursday.
The fact that y'all swept was like a major stress release off of me. So thank you.
Yeah, I think like when we sing a lot when we get nervous. And so in the tunnel we were singing, and we just kind of get going, and I think it helps calms our nerves. So that was one of my favorite things actually this season.
I think, yeah, kind of like Hannah said, there's a lot of young girls, so there's a lot of nerves, first game, and that semifinal game is a good game to kind of feel the court, feel the atmosphere, and there was a lot of nervous girls, so they were singing, dancing, jumping around, and working out the nerves. So,
Abby, while you got the mic, I want to go back to Lubbock regional semifinal. We're playing Clyde. It was 9-5. Abby Carr blocks you, and she celebrates right in your face. And you ran off 7 of the next 8 points, and nothing in regionals was close after that.
yeah.
Did you notice it in the moment, or did you just do what Abby does? And
Honestly, I didn't know that she celebrated in my face until you just said something. Or else
Now she wants to go back and watch it now.
Or else I probably would have been in her face too. So.
Well, and I don't know, and obviously, but you did. You ran off 7 of the next 8, and watching it, and y'all made quick work of regionals after that. Like, and nothing against Clyde. Clyde was a really good team, but it felt like the energy changed after that because they were really fired up. I mean, heck, blocking you is. I wouldn't want to try to get in front of one of your hits, but I assume that I felt like you probably had to have seen that because you did. You went on a run and scored 7 of the next 8 points.
I really didn't, which is funny because, I think this year I was really focusing on getting blocked as a hitter is common. It's going to happen. You can't let it get on, you can't let it yourself get down on that. So I think I really turned towards my team, and I was like, well, shoot, what are you going to do about it? Hit 7 in a row, I guess. So.
I'll ask y'all the same question. At what point did you know you were going to win?
Honestly, I knew really early. I really think that semifinal, regional semis, and regional finals game, I was like, it's really crazy. You don't really get a team that goes undefeated in their season up until the state finals game. So I really knew this team was really special. But I think, honestly, I knew we were going to win first set of our last game. I was like, heck, we can beat them. I was like, this is a game. We're going to win. So,
just those sets were so close, and we just kept fighting. We never gave up, and we just worked as a team through it, and I just knew that we were going to win after that.
Yeah, because most of the sets, they went up early, right? And you guys had to battle back every one.
So actually, I had a dream the night before that we won on the side that we won on. So whenever we won the first set, I was like, let's go. Wow, this is actually happening right now. And then second set, and then just after that third set, I was like, oh my gosh, my dream is real right now. This is deja vu. So I thought that was pretty cool, actually.
That's awesome.
I knew we were going to win.
I would say when I woke up that morning, I just had a very good feeling that we were going to do something great, and we did. And especially after that first set, when we came back after we were down and we won, I was like, oh yeah, we got this.
You're getting goosebumps on that last match point?
yeah.
Just nervous, right? You're like, oh.
So that rally was really long.
Yeah.
And so
It was.
I was on the bench, and I'm not even kidding. It was butt off the seat, on the seat. Oh my gosh, we're running. And oh my gosh, no, we're not. And they were like, oh my gosh, we're running. And oh my gosh, we're not. It was crazy. It was very much a roller coaster. So.
Kinsey ended up on the bottom of that pile. Did you feel that? I want to go back a little further in the season, Hannah, for you. Obviously, we talked about it with Brooklyn. This year because of injury, didn't maybe go exactly like you wanted it to. But there, you battled back again, and Coach Culpepper runs you out to serve at home, and you serve an ace. Your first time out on a partially rehabilitated leg. What was that like?
It's indescribable. I just felt all the emotions, and having the whole town kind of behind me cheering, I could cry right now. It's just so heartwarming, and it's it truly is a family here in Bushland.
The joy on your because I was calling the game, I didn't see it in the moment, but the picture Ryder Grace got of just the joy on your face when y'all hug. I think it was you and Abby hug actually,
I think
or was it Kinsey? It was. I knew it was one of y'all, but that was one of the coolest. Not to take anything away from what happened in Garland, but that was one of the coolest moments of the season from our perspective, getting to follow y'all along on this journey. So, you got anything else before I hit them with their questions?
Nope, go ahead.
All right, same 4 questions. We'll start with Solo. Solo, what's your favorite candy?
The extreme rainbow strips.
Ah.
That's
I
a
could
first.
say that on here.
The favorite movie?
Sing, the first
Sing.
one.
Nice. Where will we find Solo when she's not playing volleyball?
Shopping online and sleeping.
And what would be your walkout song or your theme song?
The Pitch Perfect a cappella ones.
I like
Those are the
it.
best.
All of them.
All right, Miss Abby, favorite candy?
Twix, the right ones.
The right ones.
I was going to say left or right.
Every Twix fan has a preference.
Which is funny because they really don't taste different, but
They don't, but it's like a.
But you have
you
to
have to have it. But you
answer
have
though.
to have a
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
And favorite movie?
Grown ups.
Nice.
Oh, that's
I
a good
could
one.
quote
So
that.
you're a
movie.
comedy girl.
I am, yeah.
Favorite movie. Golly, how did my mind just draw a blank there? Oh, where will we find you when you're not playing volleyball or softball? Where will we find Abby?
Probably in bed, reading a book or watching movies.
For as highly competitive as you girls are, y'all like to spend a lot of
Pretty
time in
chill.
bed.
Yeah, they're chill.
Y'all are.
We never get to have downtime. Yeah,
They're always working out or practicing or playing.
I bet all the boys are like, I'm lifting weights in the gym if I'm not.
And
in-
Culpepper does not allow y'all to lift weights, does he?
Not really, not in season, but we're fine with it.
I don't. You're like, and that's okay.
It's all right.
And what would be Abby's theme song?
Inner Sandman by Metallica.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's my softball walkout song. So
Are you a Mariano Rivera fan by chance?
no,
In that world, he made that song famous. So I was just wondering.
I got it from my dad. So like freshman year softball, he was like, "What do you want your softball song to be?" And I was like, "I don't know, what should it be?" And he gave me it. So I
And
just
there
stuck
you
with
go.
It, so.
Nice choice, Dad. All right, Kinsey, favorite candy?
Probably Reese's.
Favorite movie?
The Grinch.
The Grinch. Are you a Christmas movie fan?
Yes.
Yes.
Which Grinch?
Both of them.
Both
I love
of 'em,
both
okay.
of them.
Favorite hobby? Where will we find Kinsey when she's not in a volleyball gym?
Either shopping or with my sisters.
Nicely done. Are both sisters back here now?
Yes.
Look at that. And then your dad is outnumbered again.
Yes.
I guess he's kind of always been because
He's
there's always been at
always
least
been
one
outnumbered.
Sims girl home.
Exactly.
And then what would be Kinsey's walkout song?
Run It by Chris Brown.
Nice. Hannah. Favorite candy?
Kit Kat.
Nice. Favorite movie?
Probably Karate Kid. Love that movie.
Do you have a choice on which one?
Oh, the original.
Wax on, wax off.
Yep.
There
First
you go.
one's the best.
Where will we find Hannah when she's not playing volleyball?
Probably watching another movie or TV show.
And what would be Hannah's walkout song?
The Rocky theme song.
Oh,
And then and here's your final one, and I won't ask Kinsey because she has to come back next year. But the 3 of you seniors, how would you sum up Coach Culpepper and your time with him?
Very influential.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big part of Bushland volleyball. So, yeah, very influential.
I'd say kind of like a second dad. 'Cause, I mean, after my injury, he kind of just stepped up and like made sure I was part of the family and just like was involved. I mean, getting me into serve was something I never expected. So, yeah, second dad.
I'd say very smart. Like he's like really smart, and he obviously knows his volleyball. So like very intelligent.
You know, I said it during the broadcast. He is the best volleyball coach in the state of Texas, like hands down, and he is the standard. And it was actually pretty cool to know that the gunner coach played for him. And, you know.
Yeah, and I think that honestly helped the rivalry we have with them because it was a lot more civil this year.
It was.
So it was very nice.
It was more tame this year. Now, I will also say that Ms. Culpepper did go around warning our student section, and she said they're warning theirs, like, do not, because last year's, that got a little out of hand.
I was really hoping our student section would have gotten out of hand, give them a taste of their own medicine. So
they were ready. I can tell you, if it had gone there. And what was great was they were right behind me, and so it was fun. What did it mean for y'all as seniors to look up in the stands and see that many people there cheering you on? Because Saturday there was a great crowd.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the past 2 years that we've been to state, there hasn't been many. There's always been like family traveling fans, but not many kids. And our student section really came up and showed out, especially for what Hannah was saying earlier about how they kind of doubted us. So having them there supporting meant a lot. So.
Yeah, they really showed like what Bushland's about and like how we're such a great community and family. Like we always like no matter what sport you're in, like there's always people there to cheer you on, and they truly came through.
Right, and like seeing how many fans Gunner has, 'cause I mean they live like 30 minutes away. I'm like, yeah, Bushland, way to show up, because it was really nice to see that many people.
I don't think I realized how many people were there until I saw the picture of y'all that Ryder Grace took that we posted with all the people up. I was like, whoa, there were,
crazy.
You know, because you kind of get y'all probably didn't even notice it either because you're playing. You don't. When you're calling, it's kind of the same thing. You don't pay attention to what's going on behind you until afterwards, and it's like, man, we traveled well. And we were one of the only schools that didn't bus people in. Gunter actually bused students in. So which is cool, too, to be that close. I mean, I wish we were that close, but that'd be a little harder to do.
Yeah, you think we live closer, how much
Often
further
we
you
go.
go.
Yeah.
It has become a second home.
It's like Culpepper Center.
They should really rename that thing. You got anything else?
Well, just the last one that I asked the juniors. If you had to sum up the season in one word, what would it be?
I would say fast. Like it just felt like yesterday we started and it was August 1st, and then now we're done. So it went by like super quick. I would say memorable.
Rewarding. It's very rewarding after last year, just for the seniors.
Gold, I guess.
There you go. I like it.
Hey, thank y'all for taking time. I know it's Thanksgiving week. You don't have school. All of you came out, took time away from everything you have and going on. And thanks for letting me and my girl be. I love that y'all always included Ryder Grace, but she loved going on that journey with you and taking pictures. And so thanks for including us. What an amazing season y'all had. And we'll do it again next year, won't we, underclassmen?
Yeah.
They better.
back.
And we'll be
They
back.
better. Pressure at all. All right, y'all. We will get back to a Glass Doctor commercial and then get a couple more, and then we'll be back with Chris and I closing it out.
When glass breaks, call the doctor. Glass Doctor, family owned and operated since 1986. Glass Doctor can take care of all your glass needs, from windshield repair and replacement to a broken window in your home or upgrading your bathroom with a new shower enclosure. Our windshield replacements come with free rock chip repairs for 12 months after the install. Plus, we offer 24 hours emergency service for businesses. Call Glass Doctor today at 806-358-7684.
Whether you need a building to grow your business or you simply need more space for a backyard workshop, look no further than Tightwire Construction. Kurt and his team will get you the most out of your metal building and take pride in exceeding your needs with great customer service. To talk about your next project, give Kurt a call at 806-683-6842 or visit tightwireconstruction.com. And as always, go Falcons. plumbing problems, large or small, they can fix them all. Whether it's residential, commercial, new construction, or remodel and repair, more people call Jasper's Plumbing for sewer, water, and gas repair than any other company in our area. And you should too. Jasper's is a third-generation plumbing company proudly serving Falcon Nation. All right, we're back here. What a fun night of getting to celebrate our state champions. Third time in 4 years, fifth consecutive trip to the state tournament for these Lady Falcons.
Seventh title, right?
Overall, yes.
Seventh title.
And here's what's amazing is our volleyball program only started in 2008, if I remember right. Maybe 07, but I think we played JV volleyball in 2007, and we may have played varsity. I know we played JV football in 07. I don't remember if varsity had a varsity schedule for volleyball, but in 16 years.
That's a very short amount of time to have such a dominant program.
Oh, and it's not slowing down. I mean, if you look at what Coach Culpepper has built, and the underclassmen, and even the underclassmen that aren't here, because we have everybody that's playing basketball is an underclassman. Mackenzie Sims, who is our now reigning state MVP, is a junior. Ava Permenter got a lot of minutes on that. She's a third Permenter through Sims and Permenter's.
The Sims legacy.
The Sims and Permenter legacy. Both of those two just now on to third. The littlest sister who, obviously they've been chasing the Lady Falcons for a long time, and now it's being their turn. It's such a cool thing. Lainey Adams, who JC, obviously state champion as well in the Lady Falcons. She's only a freshman. She didn't join us tonight. We were talking, and they were like, maybe we should have asked her if she needed a ride because she can't drive yet. But yet she's part of that state championship team. And so what Culpepper has built and just the foundation that's still there, it's not slowing down anytime soon. That's, I mentioned the Bally's guy said, we weren't sure we'd see y'all this year, but he's like, y'all will be back next year. You have 10 players. I'm like, yeah, and really it's more like 12 when you really get down to it. And so maybe 11, because I think we carried 15 and had 4 seniors. But still, I mean, that's a full roster coming back.
Yeah, it is. And, I had no doubt we were going back. I mean, just knowing Culpepper and knowing that class, knowing those girls, those seniors, they're highly competitive. We were just talking about how, for as chill as they are, just sitting down and having fun, they're extreme competitors. There's no doubt.
No doubt.
I mean, I've watched Abby now on the softball field for years, right? And I mean, they're competitors for sure. So.
And I'll tell you, the number 2, Johnson, I cannot remember. For Gunter,
she's a junior.
She is a junior, and she's coming back. But to watch the matchup between her and our front row just at the net, and we didn't get to see Lillian tonight, but Lillian made the all-state tournament team. Abby Howe made the all-state tournament team. The battle between her and our front, Hannah was on that front row, got her hand on multiple balls. It was a back and forth fight, but then you also turn around and every time she got one past, you'd have a Madison Johnson or an Ava Permenter or Avery. They just kept digging and digging, and it was impressive how long some of those rallies were because neither team would let the ball hit the court.
Yeah, just 2 great teams battling it out, really for sure. But Bushland coming back, getting that win over last year. That's a big deal, but those are 2 powerhouse teams, and I suspect we'll be right back next year.
Yeah, and you got to give some credit to Columbus. Columbus keeps getting there, but they happen to be peaking or having these great teams at the same time that Gunter and Bushland are, and Gunter and Bushland aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, Columbus has, I think, been their last 3.
They have, and it just doesn't. It's kind of like Holiday. This was the first year that Holiday, we didn't run into them at the regional tournament. We met Holiday 4 straight times in that regional tournament, and you talk about an incredible class. I think Holiday graduated 10 girls out of that class.
Wow.
they never saw the state tournament because they happened to be in Region 1, and you couldn't. If they'd been in Region 3, they'd have gone to state 4 years in a row. But they happened to be home. They happen to call Region 1 home, where the Lady Falcons are, and you run into the Lady Falcon machine at regionals. That's a tough draw.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, and when you talk volleyball now, especially, and I don't even say it's 3A volleyball. When you talk volleyball in the state of Texas, Bushland's name's in there.
Oh, no doubt.
It doesn't matter the level, because we routinely we play 4, 5, 6A teams and beat them routinely, So I think we've got a lot of talent. Coach Culpepper coaches such a disciplined ball club. They don't, watching the game, listening and watching, is a delay, kind of hard. But anyway, seeing that, we're down 5, 6 points even.
Multiple times.
And there was no panic.
None.
Call a timeout. Hey, get back together. And after every timeout, we go and run. And that's a great coaching right there.
And I think I mentioned on the broadcast, there's different coaching styles. There's that fiery, emotional, that's hard to maintain. I mean, they were really Gunter was really fired up in game 1, and I thought, how can you maintain that level of emotion for that long? And what Culpepper does, he's just so steady. And you'll see the fist pump, and you know he's in it when you see that fist pump come out. But he's
pretty.
But he's so even, and he doesn't get rattled, and he trusts his girls. And where so many coaches are taking timeouts, he's not. He lets them play through some moments that maybe other people would, be trying to call a timeout. And now his eyes, and I think it was Justin a few years ago that made the shirts that had his eyes, and I'll tell you this. There's some times where I wouldn't want to be the chair umpire, because when he looked, there were a couple of questionable calls along the way, especially on a couple doubles, and he looks, and I'm like, I would not want to be on the other end of that stair.
Yeah, he definitely gives the look, without a doubt.
But so steady, and just his knowledge, the game plan. I was telling Jamie, there's so many times I look up and I feel like Coach Culpepper's playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. And even things he does in the early rounds to make sure that the scouting reports or maybe film that's getting shared or things that are out there, he just mixes it up and doesn't ever show his hand and try until he needs to. And then when he does, there were even times in the semifinal where I'm like, he hasn't even shown you. I mean, Gunter's sitting front row, and I'm like, they're not seeing what they're going to see tomorrow, because he went in with the game plan, and he's as good as it gets when it comes to volleyball coach, and really just coaches in general. I mean, to have that level of success, I truly think if you ran him out and had him coach basketball, it wouldn't be long before we were, that mentality, that mindset, it just rubs off on everything that you do.
Yeah, for sure. Well, congratulations to the Lady Falcons. They are your 3A state champions 2023. What a great group of girls. So way to go get it, and way to prove a lot of people wrong. So congratulations.
Yes. And now before we wrap up, you got to listen to the call a little bit because you were traveling last week. It was really weird to call the game and you not be there. I'm like,
it was really weird not to be there. I assure you, I've never missed a playoff game since 2017.
And I was like, man, it was one thing to call a regular season game without you. It was, a little different last week in the playoffs. But obviously, Falcons came out, took care of business, jumped on them early. I feel like that's kind of become our recipe for success is start fast.
100%. When I heard that and I saw the score and I saw we were up, quick, and we scored so quickly, I looked at Robin. I remember we were sitting in the airport, and I go, "Yeah, we got this." And she goes, "They could still come back." I said, "Nope, we got it." We've seen it too many times. That is our recipe. If we can start fast, we're going to finish that game without a doubt. And I think because one thing, a lot of times you're going to get teams out of what they normally do a little bit. Yeah. You can't, because now you're playing from behind. So your game plan completely changes if you're on the other side. When you get down by 4 scores, whatever you had game planned is now out the door.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got to do something different. And I think when we can do that, now it's to our big advantage. So, yeah, I thought they played a great ball game. They were in sync. Do I think we played our best ball game? Probably not yet.
Not yet.
I don't think we have. But, you saw some aspects, and we were talking about this. We're running the ball a lot more.
Yeah.
And, one thing I've noticed for all the years I've been watching Texas high school football, when you start making the deeper and deeper runs, you got to be able to run the ball. You've got to be able to give your passes a little break. You got to be able to wear down that defensive front a little bit. You've got to be able to pull that defense in a little bit. We saw it last year just watching Carthage as a good example. They kind of ran a few times, and all of a sudden they're airmailing it 60 yards down the field, and nobody's out there. So I think that's a recipe that Coach Reynolds is starting to follow a little bit.
Yeah, when you can get eight men in the box, it really opens up the passing offense. We saw at Carthage, Aledo, even Franklin. When they passed, they had success against Brock because they ran the ball so well.
95% of the time.
They established it well. And I know Coach Reynolds has said it a couple times. If we're going to play December football, you got to run the ball. And you're right, we did. I think our first three scores were rushing.
Mr. Fuentes, all three, right?
Yes, our local legend player of the game, Easton Fuentes, his second time this year. Man, you get him running downhill inside the 10, and he is unstoppable. And then what he in that defensive line did on defense was absolutely incredible. We held Whitesboro to 78 yards rushing on Thursday night. I keep wanting to say Friday night, on Thursday night. And they wanted to run the ball. I mean, Fagan, their running back is tremendous. He is a freshman, but he's a tremendous back. And Paradise is going to look to do the same thing. They're actually a very run-heavy offense. They are a run first. They're going to throw some option football at us. They're going to run some, sprint outs where if they want to get your eyes moving one way, so that quarterback, Iglesias, is something special. I think their first three scores against Dalhart were all him on the ground with big runs because they bring that motion one direction, and if you overcommit, he makes you pay. And so that run defense will be tested again, but, man, they showed up against Whitesboro.
Yeah, without a doubt. I love that picture Ryder Grace got of the one sack.
Oh, yeah,
that's pretty good.
Everybody met at the quarterback, and
that was a great picture.
It is, but that was all night. I mean, Colton Reynolds, Austin Ryder, Charlie Pitt, Easton Fuentes. I mean, Holt Humphrey was back there when he was in. I mean, it was just a dominant defensive line performance, and it's going to take that again this week because Paradise, they like to run. They hang their hat on running the ball. They're big up front. I don't think they're as big as the left side of our offensive line. Jake and Holt may have them a little bit on size, but across the board, they're a big offensive line and they're gonna test us.
Yeah, one thing that I was reading an article out of Whitesboro area from their local newspaper, I think, or is their TV station, maybe out of Sherman. But their coach gave our defensive line a lot of credit. He said, as good as their offense was, he goes, their defensive line is the best we've played. And I thought that was a great compliment to that line. And we've talked about them all year. You've got two, Charlie's a 4-year starter.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be really important against this game because when you talk about being able to stay disciplined in the box, we've talked about Jackson Fetch back there at middle linebacker. We've seen him mature into that spot to where, he kind of stepped up a lot too early on. But now watch him play. He's a whole nother ballgame with him. He
and Colton Reynolds next to him. I mean,
those two will be a key part of that stop this week.
Yeah.
Their ability to play that stay home and really understand what's going on in that backfield is going to be key to the success of that defense this week, for sure.
And Whitesboro resides out there in District 4, which when he says this is the best D line we faced, they faced Paradise and Brock, and Brock's got two big defensive ends, both that are one of them I know is Cam Harris. I actually think he committed to play baseball, but I know he's a college commit, and the guy on the other side of the line, his name just left me. Oh, my gosh. And so for him to say that about our defensive line, knowing the defensive lines that Whitesboro's seen this year, that's a testament to our boys up front.
And that was a close game between Brock and Paradise, if I remember.
Was. Paradise led it early. They scored 14 early. Brock came back. I think they won it 27-14, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was a pretty close game. So I expect so we'll get into Paradise. My prediction for the game is we come out, we start fast, and we'll just keep the throttle down. That's what I think will happen. Now, if that doesn't happen, this is going to be a close game to the very end.
Yeah.
If we can't jump on them quick, I do think it will be a slugfest at that point.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a runaway the other side, so don't believe everything you read in the chat. That's Chris's prediction there. But I do think our fast-paced offense, you can't practice that. I don't care how much you try. You can't prepare for Bushland or Canadian.
No.
I mean, you just can't. If you don't do this all the time as part of your tempo, you can't mimic that. There's just no way to mimic it. You can try all you want. You just can't do it. And I think that throws so many teams off. We've seen it multiple times. We get into this, and Whitesboro's seen it. And the funniest call ever was the Whitesboro radio guys. The first time we played Whitesboro back in 2019.
Oh, so two rounds before that, yes.
Yeah. I think it was 2019 with Skylar, with Jake.
Okay,
on that
yes.
group. That was the funniest. Go back and listen to that radio call I've ever heard, because those guys couldn't keep up the radio call because we were just right back up to the line. But that's what happens to those teams, too. They've not seen this. They can't get adjusted. They can't get a call in. They will burn timeouts early in a game just trying to slow things back down a little bit. So that's my prediction.
Yeah, and if we start fast, if you see the Falcons, I truly believe if you see the Falcons get 30-plus, even pushing into 40, I feel very comfortable about where we're going to be.
100%.
If this game ends up being 28, 27, 24, 27, 24, 28, 21, you get a little nervous that it's because it's going to obviously go down to the wire. But at the same time, I look around and I just think if you need a quarterback to make a play, who has that guy? The Falcons. I mean, it's Dawson Jaco all day, and nothing against Iglesias. He is a great quarterback and a great runner, but when you get that ball at that last possession, if you need a score, Dawson's going to throw somebody open and take the Falcons down the field, and so you like your chances no matter what. But if you look up, or if maybe you don't go to the game, and I hope you all do, make plans, have
Absolutely.
turkey, Thanksgiving, and then make plans to make that drive to Vernon. It's a 6:00 game, so you'll be able to get home at a reasonable hour. Or you can go on to the Metroplex and do some Christmas shopping or something. You're already close enough. But come out and support the Falcons. We travel well, we know that. But this is getting into rare air. There's 16 teams left in 3A Division I, and playing December football doesn't happen often, and it's a special feeling.
Last time it happened was 2017.
Yes.
So that's how long it's been since Bushland's been into that fourth round. Was 2017.
And that was in 4A, thinking back to it.
That was 4A Division II. Yeah, that was my son's senior year. And, yeah.
That was a heck of a game we won in Lubbock to get there, too.
Ooh, against Seminole. It was. That was one of those that a lot of people ask me, what's the best team so far I've seen play. That's one of the best teams we've fielded in a while. Had we been 3A Division I, we go to state.
They win state that year.
Yeah, I truly believe that. But this team is looking special, too. And,
they do.
And I think – let's get past Paradise, and we'll talk about what's next. I don't even want to talk about them yet. We're going to get past Paradise first, and then we'll have a good talk about what lies ahead of us. So I'm hoping it's somebody different.
I wouldn't mind those Clyde Bulldogs pulling up and off an upset on Friday night.
100%.
Well, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll get this posted. We went a little different route this week just because we know we've had some connection issues. So we recorded tonight live, and then so you're going to be listening to a playback here in just a few minutes when we get it posted. But final thoughts, Chris?
Come out and support. And I think the Falcons have a real good chance to get into that fourth round, and we'll see what awaits us. But I'm excited about tonight. I love getting an opportunity for December ball, but we're going to get past this next one first.
And, hey, we wish you a happy, amazing Thanksgiving surrounded by people you love. Have an amazing Thursday. Come out and support the Falcons on Friday. And, as always, go Falcons.